allowed in America. Founding of America, Christmas was not really.
I heard it. It was
is
playing.
absolutely a part of that word. And if you just separate
Founding of America, Christmas was not really allowed in America, in the colonies.
one second before you go there, I want people to remember this. When you take a look at the word belief or believe or believer, remember the one thing that is in absolutely a part of that word. And if you just separate the BE away and you separate the end, you find the word lie. I just want you to know that if you take a look at it very carefully, the word lie is contained in the word belief and believe. Okay?
Yeah, you're right.
So,
Yep.
it's right there in front of you. And,
Well,
people
and
believe, Jordan, that Christmas is one of these sacred ancient things that has been around forever. But it's interesting because you were just saying that in America, initially, the founding fathers, those people that we venerate all the time and try to quote and misquote and misunderstand and argue about their intentions. It's kind of funny because they did not want Christmas to be here almost universally, although it was available to them to make it into a holiday, they call it. And, I find that really interesting. The founding fathers that they tell us were of the utmost Christian, upstanding Christians and all that, which we could do a whole show on that. Okay.
Yep.
But
right.
How about we talk about the founding of America and how Christmas was not part of the package deal to begin with?
No, Christmas was not part of America in the very beginning. The very first days of the colonies of America, Christmas was not celebrated. Why? Because the founding fathers realized where it came from and what it was all about. And so you need to understand that the reason why after the colonies became states and we began to become very successful and beginning to grow into a country, then all of a sudden one day somebody came up with the idea, and it's very interesting who did it. Somebody came up with the idea of let's re-establish a holiday. And we'll make a lot of money. We're talking about a business. We'll make a lot of money by reestablishing something called Christmas. And so they started reinventing this holiday called Christmas. And now we find out, do you know where Christmas began? Who started Christmas back up, even though it wasn't allowed in the very beginnings of this country, but today has become a very big celebration? It was Coca-Cola. The Coca-Cola company gave us today what we call Christmas. They came up with the idea of Christmas, and they sold it to the American people. It's called Coca-Cola Company. Because all of a sudden, one day, Coca-Cola started promoting the holidays, and they called it Christmas. And they showed how the Coca-Cola, everybody will be drinking Coca-Cola on the holiday. So it was a corporate idea to reestablish the old Saturnalia and call it Christmas. Christ Mass. The Mass, you go to church, you go to Mass dedicated to Christ, so it was called a Christ Mass or Christmas. And Christmas is based on Saturnalia, and the Coca-Cola company knew that because the Saturnalia was always a big party. A big party in Rome was called Saturnalia. Everybody got there and had drunk. Everybody got drunk and eating and drinking and having a great time celebrating the Saturnalia, celebrating the coming of winter and the birth of the sun, going back to the spring. It was a big celebration. And so Coca-Cola promoted the idea and called it Christmas. And so today we still have a big celebration that's really gone into the business world. It's really become commercial. We call it Christmas. But we have Coca-Cola Company to thank for bringing us back into the celebration of Christmas. It was an old Saturnalia, a Roman Empire celebration of the 12 days of winter. The 12 days, Christmas was always 12 days.
That's where your song comes from, first of all. On the first day of Christmas. Okay, everybody always asks, why is there 12 days of Christmas? This is why. Secondly, there's a lot of things about Saturnalia that people don't necessarily know. The Romans at one point didn't even want it. It was their holiday.
Yeah.
Why is that, Jordan?
It's because the part of the Saturnalian holiday, Saturn is what was, you can mix up the letters in Saturn, it becomes Satan, Saturn. And so, what was I going to tell you about why we have holidays? Where does that come from, that we have holidays? All over the world, peoples of all countries in the world have holidays. Usually there's 5 of them. Usually there are 5 major holidays in all countries of the world. And the reason why is because the way you look at your watch, as I said, if it's a round watch, you'll see 12 numbers in a round circle. And each one of those numbers represents a month. So there are 12 months of the year in a circle. And so the 12 months of the year, as I told you at the beginning, is draw a round circle and put 360 dots. And the 360 dots are 360 degrees of the sun moving across the sky each day. Each day is a degree, and it moves 1 degree each day southward. And so there are 360 degrees representing 360 days. And that's the way we keep track of business, and government keeps track of business on a 360-degree circle. But in fact, there are 365 days in the year. So what are you going to do with those other 5 days in the year? Because the government keeps track of taxes and money and politics and everything else on 360 days in the circle, not 365. Well, yeah, but you got 365 days. What are you going to do with the other 5 days? Well, we'll just forget those. Just act like they don't exist. And so the best thing to do is just give people a holiday. Let them celebrate a holiday. Let them take a day off and give them 5 days off a year. And they're called holidays. And so we have 5 holidays. And each country has different holidays. And in America, we have Christian holidays, which is the birth of God's Son, Christmas, and then the Easter is the entering into the northern hemisphere, bringing the sun back. We call it Easter, and it's actually the celebration of the sun coming back to the northern hemisphere. We call it spring. And so we have 5 holidays. Holidays are trying to explain away the 5 days we don't use every year, because we only use 360 days, a 360-degree circle. And so that's where we get the idea of holidays. And of course, then if you have help of big corporations like Coca-Cola, they'll give you a new holiday. It's called Christmas. And everybody buys tons and tons of Coca-Cola on holidays like Christmas. Never realizing, no, Christmas is an old Saturnalian holiday in the ancient Rome where people got drunk and raped each other and fight, and kings were landowners, the big wealthy landowners would trade places with their slaves. The slaves became the landowners, and the landowners became the slaves. And the slaves could do to the landowners anything they wanted to do because they were in the position of landowner. And that's the way the holiday worked. So whatever the landowners, whether they were the wealthy landowners, they were slaves to their slaves. They had to take the position of a slave, and the slave could do to the landowner whatever he wanted, because that's the law. That was the religion of the Roman Empire called the Saturnalia. People don't know that. That's basically what we have today: a bunch of drunken parties and people who think that they're important are not important, and people who are nothing more than just the slaves act like they are in charge of everything. And so we call it Christmas, or Saturnalia, based on the planet Saturn.
In this video, I'm
in the 90%, which is self, Jung talks about what is called shadow. Now, I'm sure a lot of people don't even know this, but the shadow or the shadow self was called melanin. They're calling this the shadow. So this is not the same shadow self of melanin. This, even though melanin has been called your twin, the Ka has been called the melanin, which is just your spirit double. But in this particular case, this would represent the Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde syndrome. If anybody's seen the TV show Heroes, the girl would go to the mirror and then she would change and out. That represents the shadow self. The shadow self exists in the real self, but it is formed by trauma. Formed by trauma.
The hero's journey.
What Freud called this was repression. What Jung called it was the shadow self, the spiritual side that became your evil twin, your Mr. Hyde to you, Dr. Jekyll. Or remember when the first Spider-Man with the Green Goblin would go past the mirror and just hear these voices. That represents the oppressed you. Well, I'll give you an example. When you're a baby, I remember when I was a baby, I remember getting my diapers changed. That's how my memory goes. I remember the more I hit my toe, scrape my knee, and all the rest of that shit, the more careful I would start to become. Because these shocks started, while you need this, it's a form of protection. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You're protecting yourself this way. Now, on that context, you can say it's melanin, because melanin also can be a protector as well. You get what I'm saying? Shit.
Right.
First thing is it protects you from the sun. But
for real.
So when you see trauma, your mama may be getting beat or your father may get, somebody, you actually forget it. The easiest way to do it is all those women who are in a psychiatry office that you see on TV, and then they talk, find out somebody was molesting them. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
It is so traumatic that you put it in your shadow self, but it does not go away. You are, that same woman is in that psychiatrist's office to find out why she cannot give fellatio to her man. Only to find out that some dirty bastard did something he wasn't supposed to do and shocked her. You get what I'm saying? So it's actually still, it hasn't gone away. It's still running your life as your evil twin. Still running your life as your evil twin. You just don't know why. I've often given this example. You get bit by a dog at 7, so traumatic, you repress it. It's in the shadow self. You hate dogs. You don't like dogs. You shake when you see dogs and don't know why. Because it's a part of the shadow self.
Crazy. I don't even know how we got on this subject, honestly, bro. I don't know what was the genesis of it, but
we was in pregame, and we was talking about sexual partners, and we were talking about casual sex. That's how we got here.
All right, and so it's not a black thing, it's not a white thing, it's a world thing, it's a Western thing. So all Western countries employ women, and usually sometimes a percentage of women get large sums of money that will allow them to travel. Now, if you ever travel specifically by yourself, the first and only thing you're thinking about is having sex, right? Unless you go in there for business. And even then, your free time, you're trying to see what the sex market is like. Now, in Jamaica, I just was thinking this, right? I was just using common sense, and I was speaking theoretical, right? Like, that must mean that a lot of women get a lot of STIs and HIV from having sex with those Jamaican guys. And the reason that I said it was because, not because women are bad, but because at least women from at least 60 countries are going to Jamaica to have sex with the same 1,500 men. That's eating the maca root and that's doing the herbal diet to make sure, you know what I'm saying, they making sure.
They got all the honey packs you want.
Like, they making sure, right? And I done talked to enough women throughout my life that have traveled to Jamaica. The men is having sex with them, but the women is falling in love.
At my big age, never been kissed, or in love, I should say. So I went out of the country this summer, and so happened 3,000 miles away, I went out on a date, and the guy was wonderful. We clicked. We went out every day.
Hold on. Is he from that country where you went to?
Yes.
What is the said country's name?
It's not the Caribbean.
Where was it at?
It was in the continent of Africa.
I knew it! I knew it! I knew it!
He has no desire to come here, so he's not looking.
Shit, I don't blame him.
He really wants me to move there.
Hold on, time out. Did that African man kiss you?
He did.
Did he kiss you? he kissed you! So the question is, should you wait for him?
No, I don't really know what to do because this is the first time I've ever felt
Been kissed like that.
Yeah.
And you can tell that hit the back meat. I ain't never been touched at that place before. All right, you gotta come get you, huh? You gotta come get her. Eddie Murphy left Africa, came over here at McDowell's, got him a burger, came, got her, brought her back. Don't just send her over there. So listen, the serious thing is, sometimes when we fall in love, that's not enough. And I know y'all about to disagree. I believe that there's different levels of love, and different levels of love motivate people to do different levels of things. I'm not going to on this man. Maybe he has some sense of love for you, but not enough to close the distance gap. So sometimes you got to meet the right person at the right time under the right circumstances. Maybe he is the right person, but this ain't the right time and not the right circumstances.
I want to add this. The fact that you say you've never been in love before means you have yet to experience it. So I want to make sure you understand the difference between love and lust in these scenarios. I don't want you fascinated with a man overseas because he's different.
Hold on. Sometimes what you want is on the other side of your comfort zone. If you've been out here 40 plus years, you ain't feel nothing. You stepped outside of your comfort zone, went somewhere, felt something different, and the only thing that's becoming of you to get something that you ain't feel different is you operating outside of fear and fright. This is gonna be on you.
She was the weekend vibe for that guy. You don't know that.
What do y'all think?
All I'm saying is, did you think about moving over there?
I did.
That must be good. You sit on down. Sit on down.
It's the Initiates. We back. We are the #1 spiritual podcast on the internet. Align your chakras, gain some knowledge, make more dollars. You are now tuned into Scholars. Join the Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The Initiates Podcast and the Initiates Nation. Roll up your favorite pack and your best libation. Take some notes or go deep into meditation. The time we share is soul creations.
Enjoy the show.
Hey man, like the video, like the video. It's the Initiates, episode 35. We back up in this thing, man. What's up with y'all fellas today, man? What's good? What's goody?
Peace to the tribe, peace to the collective. Trying to avoid the holidays. What's good with y'all?
Avoid the holidays. What you mean by that? That's
Good
just not a
evening,
time of
everybody. Good, if you
merry
talking, you
cheer.
muted.
I can hear him.
You can hear me?
I can hear you.
This ain't the time of merry cheer, Raw.
Nah, it ain't the time for merry cheer, bro. Like I just want to get it over with, bro. Cause
Oh shit, I can't hear nothing.
I can hear you
Raw?
though.
We can hear
I can
you.
hear Breeze. You can't hear Breeze?
Mm-hmm.
This shit weird, man. He's got us back in the Matrix again.
You know how that is. Anyway, man, peace to the tribe, peace to the collective, man. Like the video, like the video, like the video, like the video. One's in the chat if y'all can hear us okay. One's in the chat if y'all can hear us okay. AD, can you hear?
Yeah, I had to leave my camera just for some reason was not turned on, so I just switched on to my Cameo camera.
You know how the Matrix be.
Yeah. Well, what's up with the trial? How y'all doing tonight? Of course, drop the questions. Of course, interact with us if you want to join up on the panel. Hit us in the Discord, and of course, join the Discord if you're not a part of it. And what's up with y'all?
How y'all week been, man? What was some highlights of the week for y'all?
Oh man, it was cold for a little bit during my little vacation. Now I got good out there. So it was nice today. It was a little bit of a change up from 15-degree days every day, but I don't know what it's like out there with y'all.
It's Detroit, man. It's so cold in the D. Niggas up out in these streets. It's all on a nigga's mind. Y'all niggas hip to that? Yeah, I ain't hip to that. All right.
I never heard that before, but now I'm hip to it.
Y'all ain't hip to It's So Cold in the Deep, man. That's a classic. Look that up, man.
Nah,
I might have to play that for y'all one day, man. That's the shit right there.
Yeah, you're gonna have to make a mix with it.
Yeah, for sure.
But nah,
it's hard out here for
chilly for sure. But besides that, it's been smooth, man. Just enjoying the training as usual, man. Just trying to learn. You know, it's been that. I feel like it's been that time for some people where wisdom has been chasing them, while other people has been chasing wisdom.
What y'all think about the latest headlines? Anything that stood out to y'all?
I don't know. I ain't even really been paying attention to the news more than I'm like more into like the social dynamics in reference to like the children and then the men and the women. Like I'm not really beat for like headlines personally.
Well, we do know that those things are manufactured anyway. So, can you hear us now, Breeze?
Yes, I can hear y'all now.
We can hear you.
All right, good.
It's all good.
So, what little bit did I miss?
Oh, nothing. We was just catching up.
Okay.
Any headlines or anything interest you over this past week? I was just saying how I don't really pay attention to headlines. I'm really interested into the social dynamics, the economy, you know, the children with the technology, teachers not wanting to teach no more. You know, I'm into that, and like men and women, feminism, all of these things that's kind of been the undercurrent, you know, like Malcolm X said, "The chicken's coming home to roost." So I'm just like, just observant of the times that we are living in.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I can understand that.
Do you think the times that we're currently living in and the way people are viewing it, do you think they line up?
I mean, it's hard to catch a beat on how people really feel, man. I don't know. That's why I guess we really into the shadow work because I mean, it's gotten deep when you do this when you do the knowledge on how things have progressed with certain ideologies that have subsisted for, you know, 30, 40 years. And then
Mm-hmm.
the manifestation of those things. And then you like, yo, this is kind of out of hand, especially for our community, to the point where you start to offer remedy and offer solutions. And it's weird how people is like really like turned off by the notion of like solutions. But this is my 9-year anniversary actually on YouTube, and I was always speaking about solutions and the times that we were living in. But it's weird now that we have moved into a shift of like, we started off the conversation like niggas winning. Like, you know what I'm saying? So if somebody winning, that mean that other people is losing, rather if they giving solutions or not, right? It's
Mm-hmm.
all
Mm-hmm.
about, aesthetics and materialism, numbers. And it's like a lot of these people that people mention, they're not even providing solutions. So, it's very confusing times. So I'm still holding on to my guns though. Right is right, wrong is wrong. So
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
it's all
What,
equilibrium.
what y'all brothers think? Please, AD.
Yeah, I agree. I think it is a lot of things are centered around like materialism and aesthetics. Um, People care more about how they look or how other people look as opposed to um, making progress with something or cultivating something within them. Um, and yeah, yeah, sometimes I just sit and think like how can we get people back interested in on just the basics, like shadow work. You get what I'm saying? Like, and it because it's not super complicated. It's not super uh I can't believe it type of thing. You know what I mean? Like you can really well from my experiences, I can journal 7 days straight before I meditate and feel a difference in my energy. Or better yet, have a greater awareness of my energy. And I think that's important because I think we lack self-awareness just as a collective. Um, and then I think the things we do to compensate for it is like doom scrolling and you know what they call like virtue signaling, like only talking to people that agree with you. You know what I mean? No one ever really wants to be challenged. Um, because from my understanding, iron sharpens iron. You know what I mean? But everybody want to be iron cutting wood. You know,
Cooking.
yeah, no one really wants to be challenged. No one really
Too many
wants to do
chiefs, not
something.
enough Indians type shit.
Yeah, that type of shit. Yeah, yeah. Everybody a boss, so ain't nobody going up against the other one. You know what I mean? Because we all bosses, we all kings. We ain't all kings, and we ain't all come from kings. Stop saying that shit. Stop saying that shit. I mean, you could say it in a way of, yeah, you are somebody. You get what I'm saying? But that still don't really mean much. Um, yeah, yeah. I would say my goal for this video is just to tell people get back to the basics, which is shadow work. Don't let it go. Don't let go. That.
I say, nah, I'm with y'all, and really like of course, like it'll be some things that'll pop out and not cash, but like I'm really like focusing on the stars and astrology, the cosmos, because it's like I feel like that's the one thing that builds awareness, because that's one thing you was talking about, Breeze, that you said self awareness, and I had mentioned earlier, like you know about when people get towards spirituality, it's either sometimes it's on certain predicaments in their life that's happening to them that brings them towards it closer, where they feel they need to get closer to God, and they probably learn and get deep into things, probably get rid of the Jesus shit, whatever. And sometimes people find this stuff, and they're in a good space. But what I'm trying to get is that you get to a certain awareness about spirituality, and you might feel like you woke, or you get a higher consciousness, but there's no stopping towards it. And I feel like when it comes to this materialism, we feel like we get to a reaching point, or we get to a point like, I reached and I'm done. But like
Hmm.
it's an illusion, because when it comes to your mind and the development of yourself, it's a never ending cycle to it. Because you always gonna bloom, you always gonna grow, but you must shed as well to grow again. So it's like when we see this chart or any chart, we have to understand it's a tool for building psychological awareness of yourself and the soul, not from a place of trying to really manifest or create materialism. Because it's like, those things are a plus, and they're a luxury, but luxuries come and go.
I think a key word you said, AD, is like cycles. It's not linear, it's a continual renewing, like the Ouroboros.
Yeah, the samsara wheel, if I said that right. I think I said that wrong. Forgive me.
The transit that really jumps out, man, is Venus and Mars right by each other.
I got a quick question for y'all. So just listening to what y'all said,
Mhm.
what would you guys say is more important, breaking generational curses or establishing new generational cycles?
I would say you could say breaking the curses, because it's one and the same, because you have to create ritual around that, because that goes into honestly a lot of things you do, especially to creating things to a community or a family.
I feel like they happen simultaneously because there's always going to be a cycle. So if you break that generational curse and you're not intentional about establishing a new cycle, um, it's just only up to like, a probability that you're not privy of as to what's going to happen. I think, yeah. Um, but I think it is important that we get acquainted with our personal cycles through shadow work, to the point where, you know, c- having an understanding that like psychic abilities and being psychic is more realistic when it's more about you predicting yourself and predicting your own life, becoming so um aware of yourself to the point where it's just like you wake up in the morning and your breathing is different. You already know what kind of day you're gonna have, you know? Um, and from there you can jump the cycle. That's what I like to call it. Like you can kind of like a cornerback jumping the route. You get what I'm saying? Going up against a receiver. I think you got to get to that point where like the receiver is your shadow. It's the conscious that wants to do everything, got the whole plan mapped out, and then you're the cornerback. You don't know what the fuck this receiver about to do. They either gonna block you, they probably gonna try to take you out of the play, or they about to, try to score a touchdown on you. And you just got to be aware of just the little subtleties that's happening. You know what I mean? Like how's the receiver standing? You know, where is the quarterback looking? You get what I'm trying to say? Using the
Yeah,
football analogy.
1000%. I like the
Yeah.
analogy. I like the analogy just for the simple fact that you talking. What the question was centered around cycles and curses, generational, right? Well, when you brought up the analogy of the cornerback and the wide receiver, the only thing that's going to allow me the necessary information for me to know probable what this wide receiver is going to do is reps,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So
Your
the
cycles.
reps is the amount of attention and time you're putting into said ritual and doing it often, right? You're doing it so often to the point that it becomes second nature. So, like that cornerback watching that wide receiver, I may not know this wide receiver really well, but I know the coach, right? I know the quarterback he got, right? I know that we
Hmm.
playing on turf and we not playing on grass, right? I
Hmm.
know there are different components that lead to that wide receiver having the ability to run me up or run me out or block me. The probability of that happening is based off of the reps that I take. So I think it's a perfect analogy because the only way you get that good with your clairvoyance, with your psychic ability, with your understanding of your shadow is the repetition within it, right?
Hmm.
Because if you're doing shadow work every single day and you have shadow work in and around everything that you do, the repetition from that alone is going to give you a a ridiculous amount of knowledge that you wouldn't otherwise have, right? So I think that analogy is perfect. What say you, Hood?
Um, I think like a lot of times when we speak of our generation, like I think it's kind of like generalized. I guess same root word gene, and it's like your genetics, your predisposition at a personal level. I think Aleister Crowley talks about it as like the true will, and understanding that as an individual is the goal, because kissing your family's ass is a that's not for the faint of heart. You know what I'm saying? Ain't that's a thankless job. On a spiritual level, on a generational level, like all these niggas, millennials, are part of my generation. These niggas don't give a fuck about me. You know what I'm saying? A lot of niggas in my generation tried to rob me. So, I just try to be very self-conscious, self-aware, and really into psychic development as a way and a means to, for lack of better words, break the curse. But as far as like setting new shit up, I think like, in reference to this world, like an animal, every day you might have a different type of prey. You need to watch out for it, right? It could be like, I just want to be a happy go lucky squirrel. And that motherfucking fox, like, yeah, all right, nigga, you think it's like that? I'm gonna eat your ass, right? And so,
Pause.
yeah, that's nasty work. But
Hey, yo.
but at the end of the day, squirrels are still alive and foxes are still alive, meaning that you got to figure it out basically, regardless of your circumstance. I think and just like I utilize all of these tools for personal development because leave it up to niggas in the world, you know what I'm saying? Niggas make me feel horrible, growing up, going through my 20s, dealing with niggas, going out to the club with niggas and shit, having friends and all of that shit. We ain't do it. Oh man, that shit, that's a horrible feeling, and it's like developing and maturing for me is like connecting to the inner world. I'm comfortable in that position, so I came to a realization that shit, I'm not about to be uncomfortable in this lifetime. I'm gonna be very comfortable in the sense of working my own magic and doing my own thing because can't wait on niggas to like be like, yeah, I was reading up on Pluto the other day, my nigga. That shit kind of alright. You know what I'm saying? I can't wait on niggas no more. You know, I gotta push forward with the study. Nigga, I've been weird for 9 years. You know what I'm saying? So we gonna keep it pushing. You know.
Yeah, I didn't mean to cut you off from reading the chart, but something just sparked in my mind when y'all was talking about that. Because
I appreciate
I think one, in actuality, I think one it ultimately leads to the other anyway, right? So like, and I do agree with Hood. Like we generalize these ideas of lifetime curses or generational curses, and it's sort of like the echo chamber phrase that's real cool for people to repeat, but people don't really devolve, or rather people don't really expand on the concept because I think a lot of people are just talking based off of what they heard or what they hear other people say in unison. So like when it comes to this idea of breaking generational curses, I would think that you setting up and understanding your own personal cycle would allow you to be able to see the things that you wouldn't normally be able to see if you weren't aware of your own personal cycles, right? So I think it is consciousness. I think it is conscious awareness. I think it is acknowledging what you do and what you are aware of versus what you're not. And let's be real, bro. Like most of us don't understand and find out about generational curses until it's too late. You know, so the idea that you're going to thwart a generational curse, it sounds sexy, but the reality is, you got to be so in tune with self that that is not the thing until you get to that point and you're ready to address that thing. If that makes sense.
I'm paraphrasing, but Bobby Hemmett has said, you know, like black people so advanced that, you know, even in our deepest ignorance, we are on a whole different level, you know, and I think that, you know, based upon social media and the way that we have kind of been programmed without the TV, uh, we're assuming a lot of things a lot of times about good and bad based upon social media's trying to program the minds of the individuals, and they doing a damn good job of it, right, with the algorithms, to whereas like I could be watching one thing, you know, me and my wife, we about to have a baby in March, and so I get a lot of pregnancy videos. I'm sure you niggas don't get, you know, childbirth videos on your algorithm, you know, every 4 videos, but it's just one of those things where everybody is kind of, we used to watch the same Martin and come back to school on Thursday. Like, nigga, that shit was funny. This nigga brought out Shanae, nigga, that shit, and we just talk about it. You see what happened on Sports Center? You know what I'm saying? What did Stuart Scott say? He was like, you know what I'm saying, tear the roof off this motherfucker or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, we was just watching the same things. We shared the same mind. We don't got that same luck. We can't. Niggas is not watching the same programs on TV. I don't give a fuck. And we not watching the same thing on social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
So people be watching shit. I don't be knowing what the fuck be going on. My kids was watching a Tooth Fairy yesterday. I'm like, man, cut this shit off. I don't know what's going on. This motherfucking movie. This shit not even. They said that they making movies now because they know people gonna be on their phones.
That shit is so demonic. That Tooth Fairy shit. Go ahead.
Yo, that shit was crazy. I'm like, man, cut this shit off. The fuck? Them niggas, man.
Dang.
That shit like a Tubi movie, nigga.
Horrible acting.
When I get to cooking, we was talking about Venus and Mars being close together, Breeze.
It really stand out to me. That's in the Eight of Wands, which is I want to say might be interference. Um,
Swiftness.
what is it?
Swiftness.
Oh, swiftness. I'm thinking of Eight of Swords, but swiftness and Sagittarius representing expansion, knowledge. But with Mars and Venus right by each other, you kind of have like your power and your responsibility in the same place. So I would say like really take a note of the things that you've been seeing and hearing and the conversations you've been finding yourself in these past couple of days since the new moon. Um, because I feel like this is kind of another general term that we always throw out. This is a portal for
A gateway. Niggas always talk
yeah,
about
yeah, like a
gateways, right?
gateway. But I feel like this is like a kind of a gateway or a portal into purpose. You get what I'm saying? Really having a good idea. I'm not saying you can be crystal clear, but a really good idea of what you here for. What you're here for. Um and I think it's going to happen fast.
Right.
This deacon is related to Mercury, so it's everywhere, in your thoughts, TV, the radio. Just leave out the house and go somewhere, go to the coffee shop and just talk to somebody. Just put yourself out in the world, um and
Go to the
allow.
library. Go to the
Yeah,
library and
yeah,
start a random conversation.
yeah,
Breeze.
just allow spirit to speak to you, because spirit speaks isn't what's the word, spirit really doesn't discriminate in how it speaks to you.
Mhm.
And it was really based off of um how judgmental you are as a person. You know what I mean? Because a lot of times you can block out messages just based off your disposition, or I ain't gonna talk to them Asian folks over there. They might tell you something that make everything click, you know what I mean, to help you solve a problem. Um, just stop acting like you know everything. Just
Right.
be open for an experience, and to be and to yeah, that's what I'm gonna say. But yeah, useful when Mars and Venus are together, you really got a really good sense of where your power is and the responsibility that you have with that said power or purpose. I think it's interesting too that it's squared Saturn and Neptune. Pay close attention to like your dreams.
Mhm.
Journal your dreams around this time. Yeah, I mean, it's I just want to say this one thing. The Neptune conjunct Saturn is really saying to me that you coming to terms with like your cycles, and those said cycles dealing with like spirituality. It may be some things that you've worked on, that you just stopped, like shadow work, like
Mhm.
the basic shit, you know what I mean? Taking your herbs, prioritizing your digestion, like these basic things, that's the foundation of spirituality. All this other stuff, the cool shit, and you know what I mean? It's cool, but that ain't that's for show. You know what I mean? That's for the algorithm. It's the basics.
Yeah, the
God
sexy
damn
shit
it.
not done online, bro.
Yeah,
Breeze.
nah.
Breeze.
What's up?
When people gonna tap into Pluto and like find like the cult shit cool, like the deep nitty gritty shit about the cult, Like just like started from like symbols all the way to the mythos, and then you get into Joseph Campbell, and then you get like, you know what I'm saying? Like when people go when it's like, so yeah. Just leave it.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like that you mentioned Pluto. Because that's where that's where the moon is as conjunct Pluto right now. And Pluto representing that seed, you know what I mean? That starting point, if you will.
Right.
But it's kind of like you understand the ending in the beginning, because the ending is the beginning in a way.
You know, it's crazy how you said that because me and Server was talking today about you know the 10th house and it being the devil, and you got to climb that mountain because that's what a goat does. And it's like, you know, consciously you don't know the ending, but subconsciously you do. So you walking up this mountain, but you meeting yourself at the top, so you know the end subconsciously. You know, so you have to tap in within yourself to like understand that. So like in order to do that, you have to basically like go through the shamanic journey of climbing this hill to meet your other self, which is a process in the ritual. So it's like that's the start of it.
Yeah, I think every spiritualist has to spend some time being some form of monk or shaman at one point or another.
Yeah. Because that's a fun time. That's when you really start discovering shit about yourself. Like, whoa, whoa, I didn't know this. And you really kind of like rejoice in just doing those basic things. I just feel like some stuff is it's only as hard as we make it, you know?
You know, my grappling coach has always told me the simple stuff is always the hardest. But the simple things are like, you know why it's so hard, Alex? I'm like, why, coach? You like, because it's so easy.
But why is that? Like is it like I
Well,
said,
there's
like
another
this
proverb saying that
It's man's search for meaning. So man has always had this idea that he needs to define everything because man really is a problem solver, right? So if the man doesn't have all of the information, then it will behoove him to seek out that information and try and find it. However, a lot of us are never taught, you know, that journey is inward and not outward. So you might spend a good portion of your life running all around the fucking world trying to figure out some shit that's inside your chest. So man's search for meaning is it. We're always going to search for meaning. I think that's the dichotomy of being born here.
because of your unbelief, for verily I say unto you, if ye have faith as a grain of mustard seed, ye shall say unto this mountain, remove hence to yonder place, and it shall remove, and nothing shall be impossible unto you.
So it's like I think like it's a very simple concept. Like if you're in Florida and you planting orange trees, you can't really differentiate the seed from the tree. It's like it's the truth. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like the truth of a seed is the reality of its fruit. But when we are trying to like get to the crux of like your true will, a lot of times people trying to like figure out, it's a lot of thought, a lot of effort, a lot of like mental gymnastics behind the idea. But I think like this verse is saying like it's as simple as understanding your end. Like your end, like a mustard seed knows that it's going to be a mustard leaf or whatever the case may be. Or all seed know what it's going to become. When you was a sperm, you knew you was going to become a man, right? You knew your whole destiny was in that small cubic centimeter of sperm. But it's like you got to really submit to that. And I think that's kind of like the hard part of like entertaining spiritual ideas.
So would you say that we like spiritual hoes per se in the sense that we can't
One
just stick
thousand
with one
percent.
thing?
1,000%.
So say you like want to grow kale, and a nigga will just go to like Home Depot every day and get every seed, and then be like, "Damn, I got radishes. Fuck.
Yeah,
Damn, I got roses. Damn." You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
But it's like
yeah.
you need kale, but we gotta really commit to the process of life.
Mm,
Like
mm,
it's like from flowers to mushrooms to trees to humans to animals. It's like this seed that manifests.
mm,
So that is reality. But like it's like, well, I want a girl that got it all together. I want a nigga that got it all together. That's not even reality. You gotta like actually see something in a person when there's nothing there. You gotta look at a career or a business, and all you know is that you're gonna be a fucking millionaire with this shit. That's all
mm,
you know.
mm,
And everybody looking at you like you crazy. I don't see it, but you like it's a seed, so I get it, but like it's still a seed though. So it's like all I gotta do is nurture this shit. All I
And
gotta do is water it.
that's gotta be one of the most daunting concepts for the average person, right? Like you're welcome. Like you're supposed to anticipate the ability or the idea of building and finding and embracing the journey, but you live in a microwave culture where everything is instant gratification. And if you don't get it right away, then something is wrong, right? So society is training the being one way, and you have to double back and retrain yourself the opposite way.
Would you rather eat a pot roast or a microwave Salisbury steak?
I'm not eating shit out the microwave.
Like I haven't
right.
had a microwave like since 2013. You know what I
So
mean? Like
yeah, I prefer to know my radiation. You know what I'm saying? I'm weird like that.
What's
But I
your
think to today's society, the women sure enough want finished products, and then in retrospect, the men turn around and they want finished products. So now you got two subsets of people standing on opposite sides of the aisle, and nobody is getting what they actually want because nobody wants to go through the process. They just want shrink wrap shit.
Mm.
And I don't know about y'all, but for me, it's weird to think about doing anything and everything being all good and perfect and nothing being out of place. Like that's weird to me. But
yeah, I mean it's like, basic. That's why it's like when people say like, Christianity is not our culture, but it's like Christianity actually did a good job of cultivating family within the black community to the point of like understanding a little bit of something. In this world where we don't have the church and we don't have the family, we don't have, you better get your motherfucking ass up and get dressed and go to motherfucking church, boy. You know what I'm saying? We don't have that. So, at a certain level, I feel like we missing that ingredient of social structure, which facilitates man and woman contact in a spiritual space. When you have the black spiritualist online space, is more of a commodity, is more of a business plan that niggas get caught up in. Niggas paying their bills on the first, whereas very rarely do you have spiritualists come up here on this platform and not hit you with mumbo jumbo, right? You know, just trying to offer time, energy, and understanding in a world where Nick, like, you want to be a part of the winning team, but you don't want to like self develop. And at the end of the day, when you go to sleep at night, it's them dreams that you got to deal with. Before you met sister so and so, you know what I'm saying? You still had to deal with that stuff you was doing when you was 12, 13, 14. And this is like this personal development piece that I feel like so many people are missing because they rather be arrogant and ego centered about every fucking thing now. I don't see nobody posting sad moments online for real. It's only when they traveling or doing cool shit.
Yeah, that's the weird part, right? How is everybody doing good? Right? How is all of y'all posts everybody up, everybody happy, everybody like
The
right?
numbers don't say that though.
The numbers don't say that, bro. Like the receipts don't say that. So somebody lying.
But you know the shadow of social media is the motherfucker that's probably looking at everybody's shit is sad.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
dang, man. Damn, man, you got a beautiful bitch. Damn, that's a nice ass
This
car,
nigga
man.
always happy.
Yeah, yeah. I think the other side is, your ass is depressed because you just
Man,
thinking
yeah,
that everybody happy and you not.
man. That's true. That's true. And
That's
it's
that
like,
isolation shit right there. That's when you
yeah.
isolated.
Well, and like it's think when y'all was talking about the self development, like I think people, like you said, it's the instant gratification. But if we can look at it as working on ourselves or gaining a piece of development each day, it's like a puzzle. Sometimes we're trying to jam everything or just one big piece into a slot that doesn't fit, where sometimes we just need that one small piece to go into a slot and the rest of the big pieces are going to fit. And it's like looking at
Pause. You gotta kind of pause that a little bit, bro.
nah, Slim, nah.
Just a little
We
bit,
talking
Slim.
about a
Just
puzzle,
a
nah.
little bit. Just a tiny bit. You was
I was
Big
specific with my
pieces,
doing good.
words.
big pieces
You was
fitting
doing
in.
good until that. You was doing good until that.
Well, big pieces
Oh
fitting
man.
in, man. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. This ain't no moving or nothing. But it's like when you viewing this Jupiter and this moon opposed, opposition, right? Jupiter's on the Ten of Swords, ruin. So, right, and that's also a card or an attribute dealing with air, which is mental awareness. So a lot of people probably have a lot of turmoil, like what Hood said. You the one that's going to deal with the dreams and the things that you go to sleep with before you met this person, or even at a young age. So, and that's Nine of Swords energy to Ten of Wands. So it's like, not to say you always going to be in this place, but it's a cycle that you have to learn to go through and deal with. The mental turmoil is always going to be there. That's why the shadow work is there. But with the moon also being in Capricorn conjunct Pluto, the change that you are, ignoring or not trying to accept, right? Because that's where the two of this is at, change, right? The more we avoid it, the more we're going to walk towards, the impurities, right? Because Jupiter is also not just a planet of like, wealth and expansion. You can expand on other things that you're not paying attention to. So if it's lust or greed and you're not worrying about self-development, you're gonna grow towards those things and build this dirty cup that you have to spend all this time pouring water to change the color. So it's like, is it going to be one day or day one? Because it's going to happen at some point. So you have to start now. You have to choose your cycle. Because we was talking about like church and communities, right? Jupiter is also related to higher mind, religion, right? in that community, we need that in our community because Gemini is also mercurial energy. So you're gonna be talking to the people in your community. You're gonna be, connected. But a lot of those times, it was our aunties, our cousins, all of us going to church with them, knowing people in our neighborhood, in our community. But like, do we still have that? I'm pretty sure some people do, but on a wide expansion. Like, are y'all involved in your communities that having spiritual discussions? I mean, that's why we have this panel, but so I know grandma always got y'all up for church.
For sure. The energy is very focused, just depending on where it falls in your chart. That Sun square Saturn, good to reach out to family, whether you believe that or not. When we look at all of the energy, it's centered in the ninth, 10th, 11th, 12th houses, which speak to, you know, the end of the road, the end of cycles, like Rob was saying. So just depending on where the energy falls in your chart, this is really a shift, a major shift, and a major turning point as Jupiter going retrograde. That means the guru is contracting, going within itself, as opposed to going, expanding, right? And if you can understand that, right? Nobody just exhales all day, like breathing out all day. You breathe in, you breathe out. And so astrologically, Jupiter doing this retrograde is good because you get a real sense of, the direction of where you want to go. And I would say, contrary to popular belief, you should focus on building a family, um, community, or something. You can't, Lone Ranger is cool, there's nothing wrong with it. But at the end of the day, nobody was birthed from a Lone Ranger. Everybody was birthed from two Rangers getting it on. So, you know, figuring out this energy moving forward. You're not going to want to go forward in this new paradigm without love as Jupiter moves out of retrograde and moves back into this, Two of Cups energy uh, over the next couple months.
Hood, it's crazy that you say that, dog, because I was just talking to this gentleman, and it's like, I was just telling him about his chart and just letting him know, like, that he has a wife and a family. I'm like, brother, you're very successful. We need you to understand this right now. I'm like, and it's plus it's like it's a high school love too. So it's like y'all really been building, So it's just like sometimes you just gotta realize what you really got. You know what I'm saying? Because a lot of times we looking outside our surroundings so much, or just outside ourselves. Period.
Yeah, brothers need to do some sacral chakra work, some root chakra work. Like prostate cancer and prostate issues that happen later in life. A lot of men not even flexible at the growing area.
Right.
Pause on that. But
Hey,
you
nah, for
know,
real. You should be able to do the frog pose. You don't know what it is?
right.
Look it up.
Yeah.
Crisscross applesauce. You should be able to get into it.
Crisscross applesauce, nigga.
I'm telling you, hey, get you a kettlebell, start doing them hip thrusts. You know what I'm saying?
Really
No, that
get
shit's
in.
important, man. Shit's
Girl,
important.
eat you some
Because
tomatoes.
with men, we store a lot of our shame back to old boy who, when you're not operating at the level that you know you could, 10 times out of 10, you have stored energy in your root and sacral chakra, right? That haven't been released because Shakti is dormant, because you've done no pelvic floor building exercises, you've done no butterflies, right? Your growing is tighter than Prince's booty pants. You know what I'm saying? Like you ain't got no movement in the growing area, but a lot of men die and suffer later in life because they don't release that chi,
Mm-hmm.
because they never got into it. That's that old mumbo jumbo spiritual talk. Them nigga at the meantime can't even walk straight. Nigga walking like a robot and shit. Like, yeah,
Bruh.
nigga, meditate, get into a frog pose and lock in. A lot of niggas can't handle the pain, but look at a monk. What pose are they sitting in? No, they sitting in that pose because that's just some bullshit. You know what I'm saying? Like they don't know what they doing over there in India, right? I could just do it sitting in my motherfucking grandma chair. Like, no, you gotta get in that pose. It hurt, don't it? Yeah, because
Mm-hmm.
you got all of that motherfucking guilt, shame, and fear. Motherfucking girl laughed at you when you pulled your pants down in 1996. You ain't never got over it, right? And that shit just sitting right there. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you gotta really, but I'm telling you, you release that energy, that blood, you be a whole new person for real.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
this is real shit.
Nah, for real, man. You hernias, them bitches real, boy.
Yeah, man.
Poor growings, hemorrhoids, niggas out here struggling.
Damn.
You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
bro. I'm gonna keep on stretching and working out.
You
Yeah,
know what I'm
man.
saying? Hydration, drinking lots of water, but just also having like types of, salt, honey, lemon, squeezing your water, you know what I'm saying? Get your electrolytes, just like being hydrated is really key to that.
So beyond lung cancer, the second cancer that kills men is prostate cancer. But prostate cancer gonna overtake lung cancer because niggas ain't smoking The OGs is still dying from lung cancer, but we don't be smoking cigarettes like the OGs. But as the time goes on, prostate cancer gonna be the number one cancer for that kills you. You know what I mean? I feel like it's a matter of life and death to get into your chakra work, right? Releasing that energy and releasing Shakti, because it's like I'm into the medicinal effects of it now. You feel me?
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah, because that takes time. You know what I'm saying? Like that's something you have to just keep chipping and carving the sculpture each day.
Yeah, you gonna sit and try to do some crisscross applesauce. It's gonna hurt. You know what I'm saying?
I mean,
That's
you gotta sit there like that for a long time. You gonna feel like
yeah. It's gonna take you some months, my guy, to get some flexibility going on. Get you
I
some
say,
dumbbells or
say
some kettlebells.
the question I would ask is what's worse? Is it would it be worse for you to never do it and just allow that shit to dissipate, into the ethers because you don't use it, you lose it type shit? Or would it behoove you to go through the bullshit right now? That way you don't have to worry about it later on. Like that's an easy fix for me. It's an easy fix. Fuck that little pain you're gonna feel for a couple weeks. You can stretch that
Mhm.
shit right on the fuck out.
Niggas don't stretch. Let's keep it a bean.
Oh, you're supposed to stretch before you work out. Like
you
at
supposed to stress
least
when you
10,
getting that.
15 minutes.
Oh,
At least.
Yeah, I see niggas go straight to the weights.
Them niggas gonna be locked up at the end of the week. They're gonna
Hell
like this.
yeah.
Like you can't do nothing.
Niggas do not be stretching, man. Especially their lower body. They might, hit them with a couple. Ah.
Mhm.
And you know that one basketball players do when they just grab their foot, their ankle to their leg real quick.
Real quick, something light. You know what I mean? Niggas
Yeah,
do not care about
you gotta do
flexibility.
some variation of legs every day. Legs and hips, bro, because those are the things that you use every single day. Legs and hips.
Shit.
I'm telling you what
Hell,
I
you can
tell
even hip
people.
roll.
I'm
Hip
telling
roll when
you.
you get out the shower. You look at
Yeah,
yourself
do
in
a
the
little hip
mirror.
roll.
I'm telling you. I tell people, bro, you better after you get done doing chest, do a set of legs. I promise you, it's gonna shoot that testosterone up.
Oh yeah, yeah. Working out your
All of
legs
your
does
legs
boost
more like.
testosterone.
And when it's dormant, that testosterone turns into estrogen, niggas.
You know what I'm saying?
But see, testosterone, building your testosterone through various activities is the cheat code. That's the secret formula at a chemical level for men, right? Your whole game should be, especially as you get older. You
Right.
know what I'm saying? You want to keep that testosterone
And I
at
also
a
think
high level.
your testosterone is tied to your masculinity.
100%. It
So
is. That's
the
what
Yes.
it
less
is.
testosterone you have, the less masculine you actually are.
The more your girl going to cheat on you.
She don't even respect you, nigga. She like, oh, he just letting me do whatever. I ain't never heard a chick say, I feel sorry for him. I'm not gonna sleep with this other nigga. I ain't never heard a woman say that. I feel so bad for him. I am not gonna get dick down by this other nigga. Pause. Like I'm not. I've never heard a woman say that. If she did, you was listening, and she had to say it. You know what I'm saying?
She the one said she was listening. Oh, fuck. Hey, man. Hey, I know they be like, man, and then she be mad every time my girl gonna fuck up with me, bro.
Hmm.
Hey, it's better we told you first, man, than you found out. You know?
Yeah, you know.
they be like, my big homie always be asking me, call and see where she at.
Your girl, you don't got her location.
That's not me, but that's what they say how big your big homies be. They
Shoot,
be
I
like,
got
call and
it.
see where she at.
I got that. I
I
don't. I ain't. I got the location. I look at the
hey,
iMessage.
hey,
It's
nah,
all
yeah. Me
right.
too. I look at it. I look at it while I'm having a conversation with
Mhm.
her.
Oh, I'm at the store. Are you?
Yeah.
Triangulate the fucking the
I was like, oh
address.
yeah, I see that piece of her next to that motherfucker on me, on me.
Okay, yeah, okay. You are where you said you are.
Go ahead, bring them. Grab me some cheese from Phillips. Then.
I got trust issues, man. I'm not even gonna lie.
I got trust issues.
So, happy Moon Day, everybody. Today is December the 22nd. Is this the last Monday? Or nah, this is not the last Monday, second to last Monday.
Mhm.
But as we was just looking at the chart, we know the moon is in Capricorn. It'll be in Capricorn uh today and tomorrow. And then Christmas Eve and Christmas, it will be in Aquarius. And then we'll move this weekend into Pisces and then starting that zodiac cycle over again with Aries on Sunday. Uh and just to oh yeah, so this is perfect for what I was just talking about. Um and actually I'm gonna put a video in the chat of me showing how to fill out the chart and reading actual birth chart. Um which is available when you buy Moon Day, a practical approach to astrology. But for this Moon Day cycle, it's key to be honest about what's required of you, whether that's at work, in your relationships, or in your personal endeavors. Be honest about the work that's needed, and don't try to talk yourself out of hard work, because so often we'll say, well, this ain't that serious, or I can get away with chilling a little bit more. No, get up and do the shit, because you don't know what tomorrow may bring. And now you like, damn, man, I got it. I got all this stuff on my plate. I'm so, you know, so taken under by
Overwhelmed.
all this work. Yeah, like it's just, if you can do it, do it. The time is now. And for real, for real. As I get older, can't waste time, because we waste time and we
What's
do
the
it a
number
whole
one?
lot.
What's the number one occult principle? There is no other time but now. There is no
It's
past. There
There's
is
no
no
time but now.
future. There is only right
Mm-hmm.
now.
Mm-hmm. If you're thinking about it, it means it's time for it.
What was Creed yelling to Rocky? There is no tomorrow. There is no
Today,
tomorrow. There is no tomorrow.
that's a good clip to get to. Um, yeah, don't try to talk yourself out of hard work, because you're a lot more capable than you give yourself credit for. It made me think of the Navy SEAL Goggins, where he talk about, once you at a point where you ready to quit, you actually can do, well, say like you did 7 reps or something, and you ready to quit, like, oh man, I'm at my max. You probably can do about 5 more, 5 to 4 more. Um, Stop letting your mind. So the mind is so doing difficult things is gonna bring out the bitch in you. I'm gonna tell you that, because, and I know this because when I'm boxing, I'm sparring, right? And I'll spar 2 rounds for 3 minutes. Each round is 3 minutes, and I'll spar 2 rounds. Third round, I'm like, okay, I'm a little winded. When it get to the fourth round, I'm like, man, should I just take a knee? Should I just should I try to find a way to get out of this but not look like a chump? You know what I mean? No, that's when you learn about yourself. You get what I'm saying? That's when you ain't got enough um you ain't got enough energy to keep that persona up. You know what I
Mm,
mean? Like,
damn.
and that's the purpose of doing like this hard work, shadow work. This simple shit is hard. Um,
That's when the mask starts to slip.
that's when the mask starts to slip, but that's where you want to be. And it's too many times we'll retreat, you know what I mean, and then try to come back to it when we got our mask back up. But you really get to the nitty gritty when you can't even uphold that mask, and then you start hearing all those sucker thoughts. I say, like, man, I don't really even got to do this. You know what I mean? I could just try and talk yourself out of it. I
You
think we
know
a
who
lot
really
more
be mad,
capable.
right? You know who really be
Who?
mad? Your ego. Mad than a
Mm-hmm.
motherfucker. Like,
Mm-hmm.
why you doing this for?
That's that.
Like,
Yeah.
that's the
Yeah.
thing that's gonna talk you out of it. Your ego
Yeah.
will talk you right out of that shit. You don't need to do this right now. You got all day tomorrow.
It's just like what I was saying with the Mars conjunct Venus, embody your gifts, and if you're not 100% sure what they are, explore them, you know, yeah, and explore them as we get into this new Gregorian year. Leave behind the need to like please others. Um, I think Pisces energy, like, is on the spectrum of wanting to please others. Actually, like Aquarius, Pisces, that because the 11th house and 12th house are kind of like leaders, humanitarians. They want to do some type of service, but you don't want to be in the service of pleasing somebody unless you rubbing feet or making food. um, you should be able to. help people. And just because you pleasing somebody doesn't mean that you helping somebody. Pause. 'Cause that did sound kind of crazy, pleasing people, but
That is a bar. Just because you pleasing someone doesn't mean you helping them. That's a bar, nigga.
it's the astrology. I don't take no credit. But there because there's two paths, resentment because you didn't follow your heart, or the happiness that you let your own light shine. You know what I mean? Um, I think that's what's major. And then just from like my experiences when I was in New Orleans and I got back home over a span of like 5 days, I've seen live jazz music 4 days. And it just reminded me like, damn, man, that was one thing that really like took my mind to another dimension, was jazz music as a kid, and I played the alto sax for a really long time, you know, and I haven't been playing it for the past like year and a half, 2 years. And I think it's kind of telling me pick it back up, because it did something for your spirit. It did something for your soul, you know. Man, I didn't and it sounds funny, but I don't even care. I remember hearing some songs where like, the feeling like you about to cry and your eyes get heavy, but you don't actually cry, but you be just taken away. I've had those experiences like listening to just like jazz music, whether it's like Dexter Gordon, Eric Dolphy, Thelonious Monk, Ornette Coleman, and just Jack McLean, all these different guys, you know what I mean? And it's no words in it though. So it always like made me think like, how is this bringing emotion out of me? Uh
I get that same feeling from Otis Redding and Jimi Hendrix.
yeah,
That's crazy, bro.
nah, Jimi Hendrix he was a ventriloquist with the guitar. Like the sounds he was able to, man, nah, Jimi Hendrix was, I
One
think
man
he's
band, bro.
underrated in today's generation. White
One
people
man
know who
band. I
he
don't
is,
think they
but
could. I don't think they could ever rate him because he played
yeah,
an entire band by himself. And I,
yeah.
and I, and I think the idea of them giving him his proper credit bothers them. Hence the
Mm-hmm.
reason why I think they killed him. But that's another story. I'll digress on that. But yeah,
Mm-hmm.
they could never
Mm-hmm.
give him his proper credit, bro.
Mm-hmm. What do y'all feel is the vibe for the week, the energy for the week?
Really tapping into your inner guru. Um, that's that's something that's like, cause just seeing what we've been going through. Like we went through Scorpio, we went through a Fucus. You know what I'm saying? Like now, we in Sagittarius, so it's like really having that focus, like, because really you just left the waters of darkness where you went into the rays of healing. Now you're the Sagittarius where you're aiming your bow. So it's just like your intentions really matter right now, and we're going to be, like you said, entering a so-called new year. So when the moon was in Virgo into where it's at today, you know, Capricorn, if you wasn't eating or growing or tilling your stuff when it got into Virgo, or before it got into Virgo, Virgo is when you should have started. So now you have something to go into the new year while it's still so-called snowing. You know what I'm saying? And you being a Sagittarian on your horse, you being, half human, half horse, you should be riding but still shooting your shot. Like you said, Breeze, Sagittarius, like, a nigga with his gun. Like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that I am. That I am. Yeah, I would have to say that this is the energy for this week is Gaia is ovulating right now. So it's time for you to plant your seed, bro. Like this is fertile seed planting time. Hood always talks about this. You got to be willing to plant that seed and tend to that seed for 9 straight months with no interruptions, no distractions, no anything. Right? You got to have the courage enough to plant that seed, and you got to have the courage enough to see that shit through. Right now, she is ovulating. So if you're not planting a seed, I don't know what the fuck you doing right now.
Yeah, I feel like the energy is more of a. It's like a. I don't know something about the start over, but like I used to not be into the new year really, or like when you in the consciousness, Gregorian calendar, man, white man, blah blah blah, But
Mhm.
as of late, I just kind of been into it, and the numerology of it. It's a 1 year, you know.
Mm,
I feel that, you know what I'm saying, and it's like I'm just
damn.
really ready to just do me for real, and I'm like, I know what I know. And it's just like, just the way that I approach things, the way that I dress, the way that I talk, everything is under scrutiny right now with me, and I'm not doing nothing. I'm not over analyzing shit. I'm letting it all go. And I'm allowing the new year to be really a 1 year, and just because I did the knowledge on the 9 year, I feel like this is a 9 year. I feel like a
Yes.
lot of cycles have came to completion,
Yeah.
and I'm like, all right, what's this new cycle? And it's like, knowing the end, so you know what that seed is going to produce. If you don't understand that, then take this shit and live all willy nilly. But I want to produce corn. I just want to produce some corn. I just want to know I know what I'm producing, and I know who I am, and I know what I'm doing, and it's like it's just getting into the knowledge, man. It is very interesting to me.
That's
And
and
I'm
that's what I said. Hood. Sorry not to cut you off. It's like
like,
when's people gonna fall in love with or just get into having fun with the culture, just learning about it because it's like that's where you're gonna invest that time to develop that awareness. So it's just like you know, of course you're gonna have a love and hate for everything, but it's like when get rid of that meridian of that line and just understand the work you have to do, it just becomes something that you do. You know what I'm saying? So
yeah, I mean, it's the solution. I mean, it's either fight against everybody, be mad at everybody, or understand and overstand the cyclical nature of things. And it's like you playing double dutch with the universe, and you got to know when to hop in, and hop in and take it for a ride. And it's like, do you want your shit to go smooth, or you want your shit to go up and down, topsy turvy? It's a very simple process. I understand, and understand that spirituality is a solution. And it's like the more that I take care of myself financially in the external, the more I want to just give and speak about this stuff. Just and not like just try to make it completely free and just not give a fuck. You know, oh nigga, you can't give your information away for free because then it loses value. And it's like, man, it's like fuck that. I just want it to be a solution because I hear everybody talking, bro, but
right.
I don't hear a solution. I just hear everybody talking, and it's like I want to just be the knife that cuts through all the bullshit, and I'm just reflecting. It's the winter solstice. This is the lowest point of the sun. You feel me? For the year, so it's just like I ain't doing shit, man. I'll go with the flow, make my little twos and fews, threes and fours, and ready to motherfucking attack like a motherfucking Black Panther. Me and the kids watched Wakanda Forever yesterday. That shit was good. But yeah, I
Dun,
mean,
dun, 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 dun. Dun, dun, dun. Hey, boy, that's shit, boy.
it's time to motherfucking attack, and just knowing that everything is perfect through all of the adversity, like like
Hey,
Eight of
That's a
Wands.
fact.
Eight of Wands.
I spent my solar return paying bills, and my people's called me. It's like, yo, what you doing this week? And I was like, I'm in the crib. It's like, you not going nowhere for your birthday? I was like, when the last time you know me to celebrate my birthday? One, two. I was like, I'm happy as hell, nigga. I'm able to pay my bills. Like, I ain't got nothing else, but I can pay my fucking bills, bro. I'm Gucci. I ain't doing much.
hey, man, real talk. I mean, and what one thing I was telling somebody is that less is more. You know, sometimes a lot of people think, you know, more is a lot and gainful, but it's like think of this. It's like would you rather have a day of you doing a whole bunch of shit, or would you rather have a day where you did a few things and then it's like your day clear?
A man's life is supposed to be centered around and grounded upon the pursuit of leisure. At least that's what those Europeans say. I want to see what that shit is.
you about to go into your pimp era in 2026, bro. Gentlemen of leisure.
He's a funny nigga.
Hey man, get them hoes in order. I need somebody massage my feet and rub my
Yeah,
back.
you know what I'm saying? Maybe that's how it's gonna shake loose. I don't know.
Crease
I
your
don't want.
jeans up. Crease your
Yeah,
jeans
I
up
don't want to
real
put
nice.
I don't want to put no governor on it. Whatever happens, happens. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
no limits, man.
You know
Yeah,
we the
man.
fuck around and find out type
I
shit.
feel like, hey, Hood, I feel like you talking about me, bro, because I iron every day with a fucking purpose, bro. I make sure that the hands crease, the arms. I said, don't let me wear a button up, boy. But man, I'm serious as hell. I remember as a kid, you know, I used to get yelled at and I being wrinkled. Now all I do, I send pictures to my mom, like, yeah, that mother cold, ain't it? Like, I be in her face, like, look at this shit. That mother, you see that? She be like, all right, bro.
She look at that shit like that boy good. That boy good.
I be in my pop, like, yeah, man, them mother's too cold, man. He using starch and water. I'm like, water, see, son. You don't be paying attention. I told you use the start. I like that truth as a responsibility. You think people be scared to tell the truth?
Yeah, even though they say the truth will set you free, I think some people like bondage. Some people like to be chained and whipped and put in a cage and treated badly.
And I think I put that into my portion of the presentation, but I think the other side of that is the 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 true nefarious one is the truth hoarder, the one who hoards truth and manipulates people by using it.
Mhm.
Because there is that other side to people who want to be stoked in truth, so to speak, right? Because it matters when you relinquish the truth. It matters when you decide to tell the truth. It matters if you omit certain truths. All of these things matter. So I guess the difference is the discretion or lack thereof in a lot of cases, right?
So
Because I've seen people use the truth against other people. But go ahead.
so let me ask this, right? And I we had discussing this in a chat a day or two ago, but it revolves around, right, cheating, right? And I had asked, right, to the panel, is cheating a masculine thing? You know,
What, you asking us that again?
yeah, because I just wanted
Uh-oh.
everybody to take on it because I wanted to bring it because because it revolves around truth and it's like we want to bring up the video too, but the girl was
Man,
just talking about cheating is a masculine thing.
I I would say no. Man, it's some grimy ass, sneaky ass shit.
Because it's like we talking about truth as responsibility. Like I wouldn't see that something very masculine or
Yeah,
strong.
cause I think like what you get out of cheating, you can have that by being truthful without all the shadow that come with it.
Hmm.
You know, what kind of
I
shadow
think
work you
if
got to do after you just cheated on somebody, then you just go back to your life like that shit didn't happen. That's, man.
I
Hey,
think if
bruh,
you
like, whoa.
I think if you're a grown man past a certain age, if you're still lying outside of your relationship, because let's be real, right? Niggas is gonna lie to their woman, right? But I digress. If you're still lying like on a consistent, like everyday basis, based off of preference or whatever, like, yeah, you got a lot of work to do, bro. And I don't think it has I don't think I don't think cheating is as beneficial as as we make it out to be, or at least while we're doing it, rather, right? And then the guilty conscience portion of it is one of those things that only comes up if you're actually a truthful person in most situations, right? Because a person that lies all the time, they don't have that guilty conscience.
Hmm.
So I think honestly, the people that lie about the cheating are the people that still haven't told themselves the truth as to why they're cheating in the first place.
Mm,
That's what I think. I think that person lacks the ability to be able to be honest with their partner about it because they haven't even admitted it to themselves yet. Shadow work.
mm,
So, like in cultures throughout the diaspora, throughout the planet, it's a concept of like the shaman. And so, when you mention the shaman in Western culture, it's like some know what a shaman is, most people don't. But I would view the shaman as a truthful aspect of society that most Western people don't have access to. So when I'm like, recently I've been really into like psychedelics in a sense where I know like when I'm taking them, I'm like entering different states of consciousness within myself, and I'm able to just sit and reflect on certain thoughts and certain things that I normally won't think about. And so it pushes me to like act in certain present ways, not even being under the influence, like way after taking mushrooms. Like I'm in a different state of mind just with my kids or something, and they're like, like throughout the day. I was with my kids, and so just to be like extra present and extra active with them, like 2 days after a mushroom trip where I'm just like pondering reality at like the just I'll just be feeling like I just be at the deepest levels of consideration. And then I'm also knowing like motherfuckers probably think I'm crazy for even thinking like this or even moving like this or even like feeling like a shaman or even like being outside in the cold for hours just because I'm just so addicted to the elements or I'm just so addicted to nature that I'm not even realizing that it's cold. I'm just like really feeling warm for real because I'm just, I don't know. It's like the truth to me might be the truth to me, it is what it is. But I feel like when we are in this Western society, the truth is very subjective. It's my truth, his truth, her truth, whatever the case may be. So it's like in a relationship, man, ain't no such thing as cheating. If you ever find yourself cheating, you just wasn't never even ready to be. You wasn't even in a relationship. You was like in some weird shit. You thought it was a relationship. You called it a relationship. It looked like a relationship, but when you find somebody that you was in love with, and they in love with you, and they really is
That's
present
the
with
cold
you,
crack. He did it.
she's not cheat. You're not even thinking about cheating on this girl.
Yeah, yeah, you
It's
did.
not even a reality. Like it's not even a concept. Like like it's just not even possible because you so in love. Like you so in love and you so deeply in love. Like nobody cheats when you in a relationship. But the Western person without shamanism, without spiritual development, understanding that there is no real deception.
Mm-hmm.
It all comes to a head sooner or later. That's why motherfuckers don't do shit for real. A nigga had called me one day, bro, and basically told me he was gay. And I'm like, bro, why you telling me? I just didn't even understand it.
Did you
It
ask for
just,
this information? Like,
no, I was chilling.
Oh, you weren't giving them a reading?
No, nigga
Hey,
text
yo,
me.
it's service saying you asked me this information. Hey, yo,
Nah, the
nigga,
nigga
what?
just text me like, bro, I've been fighting demons. And
tell
and,
the nigga
and,
stop
and I
fighting.
and I say that to say the nigga thought he could get away. Niggas think they could get away with the shit. You know, you're not even you in the Western paradigm. You gotta really get into the void and know motherfuckers is looking at you. It could be a bird, it could be a crow, it could be a fucking cat, it could be the nigga driving next to you, your guardian angel. But your mind so closed to even perceiving reality in a truthful manner. And I know that's kind of like a long-winded way of answering your question, but that's really how I feel about that shit. It's all one thing to me.
No, I think that was honestly a advanced way to answer it. It's just that like it might sound basic if like if you just understand what we're talking about, in a spiritual concept, especially when you're trying to relate it to a mundane space for people to understand. So
But it really isn't basic because what he's describing is he's merged all worlds into one, and that's not easy for people to do. Like he's basically describing what the singularity is. That everything is one thing and one thing is no thing. Holy shit, nigga, yeah, that's what the fucking goal is as a spiritualist. The singularity, nigga, where everything is one. It's the shaman who only eats one thing for 40, 50 years of their life because they don't acknowledge taste buds. So therefore they have no desire to spread out and taste all these different kinds of foods because they're not moved by the taste buds. They're moved by the substance they get from what they put in. So he can eat the same thing every fucking day, 3 times a day for the rest of his life. He's not going to bat an eye because he's content. Like he's merged everything into one. And that's exactly what Hood is talking about, merging everything into one. So basically from that concept, the idea of cheating can't exist because on some level you wanted to do that anyway. If you did it. So it's really a matter of you
muted.
Yeah.
I said you might as well have brought the girl over your house, fucked her right in front of your girl. You should have brought the nigga over the house, fucked him right in front of your nigga. Because why do we exist in such a way? For what reasons? What are we trying to hide so bad? You know?
So bad.
But it's like, this shit is normal and it's like a conversation. And it's like, yeah, I'm not saying that my girl can't cheat on me. She probably it's like if she did or she didn't, I'm going to accept it the same way because I know I'm not going to cheat. You know what I'm saying? That's all I fucking know. That's all I can actually control. So it's like shit. Like every time I get into a certain space, I'm like adaptation. I just go to a space where I just love her deeper. I love her more. I find different ways to love her as opposed to letting that negativity creep up because that's all it is. It's like shit. I say cheat on me, don't let me find out. Because if I don't find out, what's the point of if I never found out about it, it didn't exist. Now if I find out about it,
I wasn't in the forest when that tree fell, my nigga. I don't know what it sounded.
I don't know.
Hey, serpent niggas hate that question. They be trying to use that for anything. So the tree fell in the forest and you wasn't there. Did you hear it? Did anyone hear it?
That's the $1 million question right there.
I mean, there's a particular level of integrity in some things, but not with that, right? Like, I think it's a harsh lesson, but now looking back at it, like retroactively, like yeah, hindsight is 2020. I could say that I probably needed to go through all of the shit that I went through with women. Whatever it was, whatever heartbreak, whatever trauma, whatever PTSD was developed from dealing with women and being raised by one. Yeah, like I think it was all necessary because that was my Heru journey, right? Like that's how I was supposed to get to my spiritual warrior stance. Like that's the only way I was going to get there through that strife and that conflict and that so-called trauma. But I can truly look back at it now and see it was probably necessary. I had to learn certain lessons. So I think that's the real answer on top of everything else we've already said when it comes to the whole cheating shit. Like you bring yourself to a point where you're going to be stoked in your purpose regardless of her actions. And when you're doing that, like you're the leader, like you're leading properly. Because if you're leading based off of what she's doing in the back seat, that's weird.
And in this world, anything can happen, man. I done actually lived in a world where I seen, people transition out the body where you least expect it. So it's like as a spiritualist, I live today and today. I've been really into Asmodeus, and it's just one time they was giving him a carriage ride, and it was this dude. He made some shoes for 7 years, and Asmodeus he laughed. And then Solomon asked Asmodeus, like, why you laugh at him? He was like, he got some shoes that was going to last him for 7 years. He ain't even going to be alive for 7 days. That shit funny. It's like
that's yeah.
So it's like, I mean, what do we really know? You know, I gotta,
Yeah.
I stay humble, man, because
Yeah.
I just be happy with life a lot of time. Most of the time, life is very precious, and I don't take it for granted, man.
And ignorance is bliss.
Yeah. Sometimes when the negative thoughts creep in, I'll usually like my like code word or like release word is like but I don't know everything. Or how could I know everything? And then I just kind of just sit back on that and let it dissipate. Because it's real easy to think negative and then all of a sudden you really kind of mad at somebody, you know, about something that didn't even happen too, or you don't have proof that happened. Not even stuff in the past that you really was mad at, just stuff that you just imagining. But yeah, I because when I think about it in the terms where y'all saying, it's just a part, it's like parts of ourselves that have to be expressed for whatever reason or whatever lifestyle we have. And when those parts are expressed, it's not necessarily good or bad. You know what I mean? I think when you try to have somebody figure it out and they have things within them in their shadow that needs to be expressed, I think that's where the confusion happens. Um, because you really can't control nobody. You don't have control over nobody
Yeah,
or
as
what
long as you
somebody would
know,
do. Like,
yeah, as long as you operating from a space that you suppressing your shadow is going to lead to regression within you, like everything else, flows off of that. But you can't suppress your shit. Just like no more than you can control what somebody else, how somebody else is going to react to you. You know what I say, nigga. Don't get in that relationship with her on the pedestal, nigga. Chop the pedestal down first. Then see if you really like her.
yeah.
I'm gonna tell you how they tell you in the old days. Rub one out, then go hang out.
That
That's how
used
you
to
know if you
work
really like
when I
her.
was 20 and 30. That used to work, but when I was 20 and 30, nigga, that was easy, nigga. Like, what? I'm going to the bathroom, nigga. Like, I'm good. I ain't beat. Now it's like I do that shit 5 minutes later. My shit right back. I'm like, yeah, it's that old age, nigga. If you want more than one bitch, tell your bitch. And if your bitch wants more than one nigga, let her tell you.
It always made me
That's
think of the saying like it's a time and place for everything. But sometimes you in the wrong place. You know what I mean?
1000%.
And you try to be in that place, whereas it's kind of like, I don't know, some random like you
You
around a bunch of
can't bring these.
crackheads and you get mad because they getting together to smoke their crack.
Yeah,
You know what I
yeah.
mean?
Like
It's a time and place for everything.
and you can't
You
bring
might
these
not like it, but it's a
old
place for that.
you can't bring these old European antiquated ideas into your relationship, nigga. Like that doesn't even make any sense when you think about it. You don't know why you have these ideals, but yet you cherish and you prop up these ideals and you follow said ideals, but have no fucking clue as to why you have them. Don't tell me that it came from the church. Don't tell me that monogamous relate. Don't tell me none of that shit. Okay, because that's something somebody else told you. We were all tribal people. We were raised in tribes. You think those tribes were monogamous, nigga?
No,
You
people ain't
think
ready
you
for
think when
that.
you didn't get it up, she didn't go to the next tent, nigga? Like y'all niggas gonna have to be realistic about all this shit, bro.
But nah, we too individualistic to even fathom that without malice. You know what I mean? The average person gonna be like, no, man,
And
them
that's called
hoes is
ego.
crazy, or them
Ego,
niggas was
nigga.
soft. Them all them niggas was betas. You know what I mean? Like they gonna
That's
say
called
some dumb
ego,
shit.
nigga.
You
Yeah, that's
know?
called ego, nigga. Because even betas have girlfriends. Like, come on, man.
I would say going into this 1 year, just imagine yourself going to live 10 more years, figuring what you going to do in the next 10 years, what you
Right.
going to look like in the next 9 year.
9. You gotta be 9 though, because we in the 10th. So yeah.
So
Yep.
like, what is it going to be? Now, in this past 9 year, we all could have been millionaires if we just would have stayed pat on crypto. Meaning that at a certain point, it's going to be another idea that enters the zeitgeist that you should be able to jump on and ride it to a million. But you should be understanding of the cycles of things, right? 2008, it was the internet. I mean, like 2000s, it was the internet. 2008 was the housing bubble leading into like the cryptocurrency. I mean, it's always going to be something that
Mm-hmm.
you should be able to hop into and ride the wave on out. But you don't know what that wave is going to be. But just understanding that you ready to capitalize, you ready to go into this next phase. And I say all of that to say is you ain't about to save these niggas under
At
no
all.
circumstance.
At all.
There's nothing that you can do to save a nigga. The best thing that you could do is be the absolute best version of yourself. And maybe niggas will look at you like, damn, this nigga got his shit together. Let me
Maybe
get
that'll
some
rub off on
advice.
others. Yep.
Let
Maybe
me
that'll
talk
rub
to
off
him.
on niggas. Yep.
Hey man, can I ask you a question, brother? You know, shit like that.
How you
But
get your
you
milk?
trying to,
Man.
yeah, how you get that new bubble eye Benz with the 20-inch rims on it? I want to know. I'm
I
trying to
still want a
figure that
bubble
out.
eye Benz. Every time he say that shit, I want a bubble eye Benz. Nigga,
I
like,
want to with the AMG kit.
yeah, nigga. Yeah. I
Is a
want the old
dual with
school
the dual
Naka.
with
I
the
want the
dual
old school
exhaust, dual
Nakamichi. I want
exhaust.
the Nakamichi stereo in my joint. The old school Lexus joints. I
I'm
might even
surprised
get some
somebody didn't say.
BBSs. I might even
Shit,
get some
man.
BBSs on my rims, nigga.
I'm surprised I,
Shit,
SRT, Durango, So I'm happy my brother's there.
man. I want to side with BBS's on it.
Gold
I
BBSs on
want
that
to.
joint.
I want to act with
Yeah.
BBSs on it. You know, I still want to act vigor with BBSs on it. Like that's my snake joint. Like I always wanted to act vigor. I still want to act vigor. I remember when them shits first came out. Niggas was driving them shits to high school when I was in high school. That was the shit. The drug dealers had the BBS Axe, nigga, or the Lex. Yeah, brothers, got any closing segment arguments?
Nah, just, go to moondaymystic.com. Moonday is available. Moonday, a practical approach to astrology. Um, y'all can still ask any questions on Instagram. That's the best way to reach me. Um, yeah, with any questions, I'm thinking of different ways to like do a new like advertisement promotion for it. Um, so yeah, look out for that. Um, and man, do some shadow work this week, especially if you're gonna be around family. Just be the
1000%.
family member that could just be out chilling. Don't be the
Word.
one wilding.
Word.
Be the one that's chilling. It could go to sleep happy. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like, Don't be out here
And
mad at somebody.
focus on a full plate
Yeah.
and a nice full cup, and zone out. Don't get into nobody else's bullshit. But finish the year strong with shadow
Man.
work. Finish the year
I know I'm
strong
gonna
with
take
shadow work.
I'm probably take like 4.5 grams of the Jedi mind tricks.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be a good time.
WhiteRabbitPsych.com. Please get
Of
you
course,
some.
WhiteRabbitSite.com. Dubai chocolate. I've been thinking about it on the way. Of course, check out the Spiritual Business Academy, SBA. Nah, for real though. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like, and let me just be quiet. Anyway, so I just want to say shout out to the Niches for the Flame. Make sure you check out the Substack. Check out Sound Slow Reading Substack. Of course, hit me up. You can hit me at the Discord, my Instagram, my personal number, my 7 more, email, all type of ways to hit me up, guys. So just appreciate you guys just tapping in and rocking with us always. So
Ashe.
I did a working with them Asmodeus. I was reading Judica Illa's book. I did everything to a T. Woke up that next morning, my goddamn website was fucked up. That shit was crazy. For like 6 hours, I was trying to on fucking chat. And I was kind of like, bro, it shit was a stressful ass situation.
What the fuck
then,
happened?
Nigga, I don't even fucking know. Asmodeus, nigga. That shit was crazy. I just took some goddamn all I did was take some motherfucking apps off that motherfucking site and it started working like normal again. But I was fucking around for that shit. Oh man, for hours, bro. And I just laughed once it was all said and done. I'm like, this motherfucker Asmodeus is funny as hell. But I'm gonna just keep burning this damn frankincense. So I say all of this to say, Jesus, they burnt frankincense when he was born. That frankincense and myrrh. So I just been really heavy on the resins and just being active with my kids, being present with my kids, being stern with these bitches, because it's cool, being nice and cool and calm. That shit not working, but it's like. I'm just up it, you know what I'm saying? I'm just up on it. And it's like really, really grateful to Asmodeus for like just helping me, you know what I'm saying? Just kind of like, sometimes it don't even be about money a lot of times. Sometimes it just be about what you need. And you don't know what you need, because if you knew what you need, you'd have done it already. So I say all of that to say, do some spiritual work, get some assistance. Judica Illis, best spiritual book in the game. Pick a name, run the game. You know what I'm saying?
I'm about to do that tonight,
didn't even
man.
know it. Just pick somebody and work with them. You know what I'm saying? It don't, you know what I'm saying? Shit fun for real.
I've been smoking cigars, fucking with tobacco and shit. I'm just like, yo, I see why
tobacco was a shaman thing, so.
Yeah, man. Do some work, man.
Fuentes, Manicuestos, all types of shit.
Yes, sir, man. Y'all, man. Catch y'all on the flip side. Probably do some more, content throughout the week. Stay tuned. Make sure you subscribe to all the channels. You know what I'm saying? Join the Discord.
Join the Discord.
Conversations every day. So tap in, build with spiritual people, man. Y'all got anything else before we get up out of here?
Discord.
Join the Discord. Join that
Cash App.
I see a nigga ask for a Cash App for 15 minutes on his live. I was like, yo.
Hey, shout out to Brother Penny for the intro.
Yo.
Hey, they say you don't gotta.
I'm gonna start clipping niggas Cash App acts. That's what I'm gonna start doing. I'm gonna start clipping niggas Cash App acts.
Peace to the tribe, man. See y'all on the Discord.
It's the Initiates. We back. We are the #1 spiritual podcast on the internet. Align your chakras, gain some knowledge, make more dollars. You are now tuned into Scholars. Join the Discord. Be a part of the conversation. The Initiates Podcast and the Initiates Nation. Roll up your favorite pack and your best libation. Take some notes or go deep into meditation. The time we share is soul creations.
Enjoy the show.